In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure a list for your business of risk determinations on the following forms that you're going to fill out. So if we go to the drop-down menu, let's find list underscore risk factors. So for example, large number of large transactions is typically declared as high risk if this customer is doing so. Although this is a list of risk factors, they might not necessarily be high risk. For example, it will depend on the occupation of the customer. Let's create a typical risk factor. So click on New. Let's create a code. Now, for example, we can say that a risk factor is when a customer does a high volume transaction. So they do large amounts of transactions. And then click on Save. And this option will appear on your list. If you click on All, you should see all the options. Now, for example, if a student is taking large volumes of transactions every month, it may be an unusual behavior. However, if an employee in your company is required to take large volumes of transactions for the purpose of that transaction, then it will not necessarily be a high risk factor. So that's what it's meant by depending on the occupation of your customer. Now, once you have filled in many of the different types of risk factors that you'll likely use, let's show how to use this. So if you click on Customers, so let's say you are reviewing this customer's activity and risk, and you're going to have to include the basis of risk determination of this customer. Notice how it is underlined. So if we click on this option, we will see that the risk factor we had created is on the list now. So if we click onto that and say Pick, it will now appear on our form. And that is how you configure your list of risk factors.